Are you sitting there?
No, we're swapping over. Morning. Yeah, we're live now because it got to 3 seconds. Tim just legged it upstairs and we're not ready at all. I know I'm not sitting here, I'm sitting there. So I'm going to move. Anyway, morning. Back with the lives for 2022 from HQ. Anyway, and I'm back in the right seat now. Are you joining in? You're in view. You're not, because you're not. You're just sit there, yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, yeah. Then you'll be in view then. Yeah. You're normally in view for the first few minutes. Yes, you are. Anyway, yes, this morning, what we're doing, we are building a test build of the little wrapped version of Dylan's Lineside hook, which is Dylan's version is LX469. Sit down, join it. You can, and LX469 we normally do. That's Dylan's version, which has got the engraved brick. I'm doing a wrapped version. Spent part of the day yesterday working on some nice new wraps today. And we're also going to do another quick test build because I tweaked these again last night. Preview these on the Railway Modelers Club today. We've got LX470 A-frames and pavement swingers, which sounds really dodgy, but apparently it's a thing. It's signs, not something you'd find in a red light district. And we've also then got some hanging signs, which I think need a bit of a tweak, but I'll cut one out and see if it works. But I think some of them might need a bit of a tweak before I release those. So I'm going to play with those. Just going to get organised. I'm finishing cutting some wraps out and things like that, and we'll be with you in just a few seconds. Right, desk cam. Hopefully you can hear us as well. I think the mic's on. It was flashing. Yeah, it's flashing. We're good. Okay, so Tina's just bought me some cutters up and a piece of wire, hopefully, which she's put somewhere. Where's that gone?
We'll just put it there.
Oh, that's it. She put it in. Oh, it's in a packet.
You put it there.
Oh, I put it there because I didn't realise what it was. Yeah, brilliant. That's organised. So I can't lose that now. No,
right. Put it in the packet.
Care put it in the packet.
Yeah, I didn't.
Brilliant. Right. Okay, we're all organised. Okay, so we're going to build this LX469 stroke KX71 and these advertising signs. I think these definitely do need to tweak because I think part of them has dropped to pieces, but we will see. I think it's the round one that doesn't look spot on. But anyway, so hope you're all well. What I should have done as well while I was in view was say we've got a bit of an announcement to make about the Railway Modelers Club. We are doing club nights starting.
Back on camera.
You can do if you want. We're doing club nights from next Thursday. Yeah, Thursday the 27th of January. We are holding a first class club night. Yes, you'll need to be a first class member for it. There's a reason why, but I'll explain that in a minute. So first class club night start next Thursday the 27th of January. And we have a very special guest joining us next Thursday, and that's Phil Parker, who is features editor or something like that for BRM, or features writer for BRM, and obviously he runs his own blog, Phil's Workbench, and he's quite well known in the industry for building little layouts. So he's going to be talking for an hour and a half about the pros and cons of building micro layouts, and it will be an exclusive live session in the Railway Modelers Club in the first class area. So if you're around next Thursday night, please do join us. Dylan will be putting lots of adverts up on the club and various things about it, and it'll be on Facebook with full details, but you can basically jump in the first class area on Thursday. You'll need to be a member, but you can join us for an hour and a half of a talk, discussion, and Q&A and stuff with Phil on Thursday night, which we're really looking forward to. So hopefully that's all going to go well. Right, back to the other camera now. Lovely. Right, you can see my desk now. Can't quite see Lola, who's down there to my left, but I think we've got everything. The paint's just about dry on the doors and windows. I was going to paint it yesterday, but we had to leave work sharpish because Elizabeth wanted picking up, so I didn't get a chance to paint it yesterday. So I'm just waiting for that to dry. If I can ask Tina to cut that wrap out in a few seconds. Now, what I've done on this one is, because this is quite a versatile little building, it could be a shed, lineside hut, could be anything you want it to be. We've done a stone and a brick version. I spent a while yesterday working on a new brick texture, and I'm really quite pleased with that. It's a dark kind of red brick, mucky kind of looking thing. Very pleased with that. So I've done it in that wrap. We've also got the Cornish stone. I will be doing some of the Yorkshire stone wraps and other things for other kits at some point. I've got to get some time upstairs at my desk working on the textures, but I've got the source files for them. So there's a stone wrap, so you can do a stone shed. There's also a corrugated iron roof, which you can use instead of the concrete one, and stuff like that. So there's a bit of versatility. You can mix and match stuff. You can go for a concrete roof on a stone building. You can go for a corrugated iron roof. You could do whatever you want. Just that one, please.
That one.
Yeah. Here's my knife. Here's my knife. Here's the thingy. Disorganised this morning because we haven't done this for a while.
Somebody's asked about the thing on Thursday. Is it this Thursday or next Thursday? And what time on
next Thursday, 27th. It's 7:30 in the evening. That's when we're aiming for. 7:30 till approximately 9. Probably going to be running on Cornish time, even though Phil's in Leamington Spa. It'll run on Cornish time, so it'll be 7:30-ish till 9-ish. We're looking about an hour and a half, hopefully. So that's what we're planning. Next Thursday, the 27th of January. I think that's right. Okay, so this building is pretty straightforward to put together. Make sure you can see this. Just quite simply, two side walls, a back wall, a front wall, and a wrap to go on. So it's not going to take us long to build. Probably be a half-hour session this morning, to be honest, and that's not a bad thing because I've got a lot to do. We're going to glue the main building together first. The front, I'm going to try wrapping this when Tina's cut the wrap out. I'll wrap this before I glue it onto the main building. Reason being, it's a bit of a faff to wrap all of the corner stuff round on the windows and everything else when it's such a small building. So I'm going to wrap it now, trim some bits off, then put the building together, put the windows in and everything else. Might be a couple of tweaks before I release it. I've just noticed that I forgot to change the thickness of the vertical bars on the windows, so I might need to tweak that before it's released, but most of it should work. Right, I'm going to stop talking quite so much now and build something. Okay, we'll start with back wall and the side walls first. Usual glue, deluxe. And right on cue, we have Lola's entertainment. Terry's just turned up. Right, Lola, thank you. Right. So just going to glue the back wall
Claire,
to the side wall.
or Claire.
What I should have done was sanded that off as well.
Kate,
Like
do you
that.
mind just shutting that door and the other door, please? Thank you.
There we are. So you glue that to, yes, Lola, thank you. Okay. Back wall and side wall go together really simply. Just like that. I'm using the SX02 jig. Just, Lola, thank you. Right. Goodness me. Okay. Glue those two walls together. And what I'm going to do is set those to one side for a few seconds just to dry so that it becomes a nice sturdy assembly. Then what we need to do on the front wall, actually, before we do anything else, I need to take photographs of this as I go as well. Where did my phone go? There. Let's have a photograph of that, because then I can write the instructions. So bear with me. Just might need reminding to take photographs as we go. That's that one. Okay. Right, now the front wall, when we glue this into position on here, the back has got a bit of a lip on it because the side wall of the building has a slope. Okay, so what we want to do is just take that very, whatever you call it, that little tip there of that back wall off with a knife without slicing my fingers off. So if I just, don't have to be very accurate with this, I just want to take the back pointy bit off so that when I put the roof on, it sits nice and flat.
James has asked,
yes,
what is the building's name?
The building's name, I don't know. What should we call it? It's a Lineside hut. to be honest. It's not on the site just yet. It will be on the site when I've written the instructions, hopefully later on this afternoon, worst case tomorrow. But it's just a simple Lineside hut. It's KX71, this one will be, the wrapped version. The non-wrapped version will be LX469, I think. Something like that. Okay, simple mod, and the only reason why we've got to do this is because, like I say, the front wall of the building sits up a little bit because of the side walls being sloped. Get rid of that over there. We just need to take that back thing off. So what I've done is chamfered that edge there, just taking it off with a knife, and then missed a bit on the end there. That's better. That's better. So when we put that onto there, there'll be a bit, I've probably taken too much off, but it doesn't matter because when I glue the wrap on it will cover it anyway. Taken far too much off. But all I've done is taken that pointy bit off there. Okay. So now we can glue the other wall on. Okay, I'm putting the glue in the pot of tissue as usual, just to stop it blocking up. Essential, otherwise the tips on this glue will block up in minutes. God, it seems like months since we've done one of these.
Mm. It is, isn't it?
Yeah, it seems
way
like
before Christmas.
Yeah. I seem to have lost my flow a bit.
Steve Cockles asked whether the live session next Thursday will be available as a feed because he's not able to make it.
We will do, yes, we will make it available. It'll be available in the first class section of the site, yes. We'll do it as a watch again thing, because we'll broadcast it via, using the same software we use for this, so we can pre-record it. We can record it and put it up, just the same as these end up on YouTube, but this will be in the first class area. So, yeah, which will definitely make it available. And I've just realised that's not even going to work, that piece, is it? That piece there is not actually going to work.
Is it not?
No. So have you got long stuff on all the lasers?
Yeah.
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 Oh, that's just gone pear-shaped. What do I do now then? Darn it.
Can you not modify it by cutting it with a knife?
Yeah, like a complete fool up. That's supposed to have, what sits in it? I can modify it. It just won't look very good. I'll have to do again. I'll have to just, I'll have to. That's supposed to have cutouts in it, like a Wally. I've gone and deleted them, see, because I modified them from Dylan's original thing. So they're supposed to slide into there. So what I'm going to need to do is cut that off. This is the perils of doing live builds on a Wednesday morning. I'm going to have to try and cut that off like that. Obviously, you won't have to do this, and I won't take pictures now. I'll build another one this afternoon when I've done the modifications. So when I've cut the parts correctly, I'll do another one this afternoon. Let's just treat it as a test build, shall we? So there's a bit of scratch building on this one. But it's the whole point of doing the session, I suppose, just to find out whether I've got it right or not. Okay, what a fool. Right, so glue on that, because that'll now fit into there. Because that's going to go like that. Right. Okay, let's glue this wall together now. So the dunce award goes to me today for this one. What an idiot. Anyway, so that should now fit. That's better.
So I started laughing already. Dylan's just said laser engraved bricks. 1 wraps 0.
Nah, it'll work, honestly. It's just because I modified your blooming thing. I deleted all your bricks off the corner, and then I prepared my part, and in my haste to get everything ready yesterday, I was kind of rushing a bit and measured twice. Or maybe 3
Says,
times.
have you got a razor saw?
Yeah, tell you when in drawer in the shed. Yeah. Anyway, done it with a knife. It's come off. It's not a problem. Right. So I'm still going to wrap this front there anyway. So we're going to leave that to one side. That's the main part of the building. I'm not going to photograph it because it'll look really weird, and then people will say, "Why does my kit not look like your one in the instructions?" So that's the essential basics of the thing. We're going to now wrap the front, test the wrap. This is where wraps come into their own now, Dylan. Watch and learn, lad. Watch and learn. Okay. We're going to glue that on there using a bit of the old Yoo-hoo.
Stu Hilton says, have you considered chamfered edges instead of tab and slot?
Yeah, but lasers can't do them. Is the short answer. Without some very fancy jigs and goodness knows what in the lasers when we manufacture stuff, it's just not possible to do a chamfered edge. So there's a couple of laser manufacturers or laser cut kit manufacturers that do stuff like that, but they spend hours and faffing about with jigs and all sorts of things. I prefer tab and slot. It's just, from a production point of view, it's a breeze, isn't it? Right, just waiting for the Yoo-hoo to dry a little bit on that. And then we'll put that, position that on there. So I'm just lining this up where the wrap's been cut for the window and door reveal.
David N, that Dak, has asked whether you could do a brick engraved overlay.
Brick engraved what?
Overlay.
Yeah, something to look at. It would. The trouble with engraved brick is it is incredibly time consuming to produce, and it will take this from being a, I don't know, say sub £10 kit to being with a brick overlays and stuff. It will take it. It'll double the price easily because of the production time. That's the only downside. Nice to do, actually. It's an option, perhaps, for the future.
Melvin's asked if there's any plans to do embossed brick sheets.
Again, yeah, I can do it, but I keep getting asked, and we can do them, yes, and I'll release them. But I can guarantee the first email, as soon as we release them, will be, why is it so expensive? It's because it would take the best part of probably an hour to engrave an A4 sheet of brick. So it's just a very long-winded process. That's the only thing. Okay, so the brick wrap on this one, I've just put the back, so the back of the building. I can put this one on now because it doesn't need to overlap with anything, but at the moment anyway. And I'm going to rub the corners with my finger just to get a nice sharp edge on the brick. People often ask why we use quite thin paper for brick wraps, and the reason being, when you do fold it around the corner of a base layer, for want of a better word, you get a nice sharp edge, just like real brick. If we use card, you'll get a horrible rounded edge. The toner will probably lift off the paper, so you'd end up with white showing. It just wouldn't be a nice, neat, crisp corner to the brick. Okay. Benefits of wraps, obviously, is you've got no painting. And I'm not very good at painting. Probably could be all right at painting, but I've just never had any time to practice or any experience with doing it, so I just prefer wraps. Okay, so we have, there you've got a brick wall at the back, done in a few seconds. We've got a nice dirty brick, we've got blue brick at the bottom, we've got some weathered moss and stuff at the bottom of there, and algae at the bottom of the wall, and that was done in seconds. No painting, no messing, it's just done. So there you go, Dylan, that's why I use wraps. Right, let's get these door reveals and window reveals sorted. Right. Hopefully, even with my cock-ups, this will be a nice, swift build this morning. Shows you how simple the kit is. But like I say, this could be a shed. A brick built shed could be anywhere. Industrial scene on the, probably not an allotment, but in the garden. It's a bit like my grandfather's old shed, one of them. Could be absolutely anything. Side of a busy main line. Who knows? Be whatever you want it to be. And I really do like this new brick texture, actually. Tina just sits here chuckling to herself while she's doing it, while I'm doing this. She's just reading your comment.
David then said, is it available in N? T-shirts out. I quite like that idea.
Actually, that's a bloody good idea. I think
that.
excuse my French, that is a really good idea. I think we should do, is it available in N T-shirts? That is a genius idea, David. This would be quite small in N gauge, but we can try. There's one thing we do want to do this year. I know we said it last year, do more N, but we do want to this year finally get more N gauge stuff out. We've been having discussions about options and how to do it, and I'm sure something will come out in the wash at some point.
Melvin Price has said, instead of brick printed paper wraps,
Mm-hmm.
can you do the paper wrap embossed?
We can get textured paper, but it wouldn't be embossed with the brick pattern, if that makes sense. We can get an embossed kind of watercolor type paper. The effect isn't that pronounced and that successful. Plus, this is a discussion I've had with several people over the years, and I'm still not convinced by embossed brick, because if you were to make the brick embossed on here so that you can see the indentations of the mortar lines, in real life, if you scaled that up, the wall would need repointing. You would have like you'd be a centimetre if you scaled up the embossing on or the engraving on the one that Dylan did. So I'll show you. Let me show you. This is the one Dylan did, which Paul's built onto a rather lovely diorama. So there's the building, right, with the embossed brick, which is great. It looks really good. But if you actually scaled that brick, is it in focus? My eyes aren't in focus because of the thing. If you scaled up the embossing on the brick on that to be real life, you're probably looking at an inch deep sort of mortar lines, and in which case you'd be the building controller would be telling you to either demolish it or fix it because it would need repointed. So I'm still not convinced by engraved brick, to be fair. I just prefer this because brick is essentially fairly flat. If it's pointed well, it's pretty flat. Okay, there's a little bit of an indent, but not a lot. You get a small one where they rub that round tool along the mortar line. There's probably a technical name for what they do with it, but I know you rub it with a bar, don't you? Or something, or the handle of a brush or whatever, just to give you that nice, neat finish. But if you scaled that up or down, it'd be negligible. You'd hardly know it was there. Hence the reason why I like wraps, as well as not being able to paint.
James Matthews asked, what type of glue can you use? Right.
You can use whatever, really. You can use whatever you prefer. But for wraps, I swear by that. It's the stinky stuff. You can use the green version, the non-stinky stuff, but I've just got that because it's from the pound shop for £1. And it works really well. Reason being, I had a bit of an email discussion with somebody just after Christmas. Was it last weekend? No, last weekend, about some of the wraps he used for the platforms. They went all, what's the word? Wrinkled. Because he used PVA. I just don't get, I mean, some card modelers swear by PVA. I can't stand the stuff. I really cannot get on with it. This doesn't make the paper go wrinkly, so I've put quite a layer of Yoo-hoo on the front of this piece here and put the wrap on, and there's not one wrinkle in sight. It's lovely and flat. Tim's looking really closely at the screen now to see if you can see wrinkles.
I'm reading the comments.
There's not a wrinkle in sight, and it's really easy to work with. Yes, it smells, but it works, so I use that. Right, we've wrapped door and window reveals. What I think I'll do now is I will fit the doors and windows into the building. to make sure they're going to fit as we want them. Just about dry, just a tad tacky.
Looks for Ian Bennett.
Morning, Ian. Yep.
Sheds are often made of clapboard. Any plans for a clapboard wrap?
If I can sort the clapboard wrap, then yes. I will have a look on my texture library later and see what I've got. I say this is sort of based on, this is actually based on a real Lineside hut. Dylan, who's probably watching still, will be able to tell you exactly where it is in the comments. I don't know where it is. It'll be somewhere up the northeast, because I think that's the only part of the world he likes to model. No offence to them. Nothing wrong with the northeast. He's big into his LNER, that's all. So everything that he does tends to revolve around the LNER region. Right, I had a small piece of, I had a small square of cellophane earlier. There it is. Can't see cellophane because it's disguised itself on my desk. Right, I'm going to glue the windows. Another glue is this laser cut kit glue from Deluxe Materials. It's brilliant stuff. You do need to do the upside down bottle in a wet jar of tissue thing with it, otherwise you will end up ruining your glue tips. Okay, so what I'll do is that soggy kitchen roll, so just a bit of water on the kitchen roll so it's damp, glue in the top, pointing downwards. Yes, you get a little bit of seepage, but not enough to sort of worry about really. It just stops the tip blocking up, and it's only going to sit there for an hour while I build this. Right, what I've just done is with a window frame, I've glued the first window frame onto a piece of the cellophane packaging that the kit will come in, and then the door, chamfered door. Now on here we've got chamfered door frame, but that's because we've engraved that. If we were to engrave the corners of buildings, it would take hours. But the door frames and stuff like that we can chamfer, so this one's got a nice little proper bit of architrave. Whether you can see it or not, I don't know. Probably can't. Looks nice anyway. Right.
Clive Ward has said that he uses an old ballpoint pen on the brick and stone, which can give a light ink wash.
Oh, right. Yeah, good idea.
Alan Robertson says you're correct about the scale depth, but it's all about, I think I've lost it. So again, Alan Robertson, you're correct about the scale depth, but it's all about the visual effect. Both work.
Yeah, they do both work. The benefit of this is for those that don't want to do painting and weathering and stuff, you've got a painted and weathered finish on this without the faffing. For those that want to paint stuff and like the 3D stuff, fine. It's horses for courses, isn't it? The nice thing with this is there'll be Dylan's version, which is the LX469. That will be out this week with engraved brick for those that want to do the painting. For those that don't want to paint, they can use my version, which is this one, which will be KX71. The reason why it's KX is because KX numbers are the ones that come with all their full wraps and everything else. LX is a laser cut kit that's not painted. That's the reason, isn't it, Jean?
Yeah, I think so.
So we just separate them. So if you're buying an LX, you won't get wraps. If you buy KX, you'll get wraps. Right, window, I've just glued the frames back to back there. I'm going to cut the windowsill out as well. Now, go on. No, go on.
James Matthews, I have to be quick to get in because otherwise
it
takes me a while to get in.
Yeah, it's fine.
Can you just keep talking?
I'll shut up. Yeah, go on.
James Matthews, have you got any T-shirts with Scale Model Scenery?
We haven't, but it's something I've been thinking about, and we will do. We'll try and get on some. I've got to get some shirts and stuff organised before we go to Scotland, because two of the lads that are helping us on the stand are going to want shirts, or one of the lads needs a shirt actually. Dave's already got one. So I need to sort a few things out before Scotland. So I'll try and get something done. I definitely like the, is it available in N? I think that's brilliant. We need to keep on shunting shirt as well for the club. Right, okay, glue the windowsill in. The window might be a little tight, but I'm hoping it goes in. only because of the wrap. I might need to adjust it, but that's the whole point of doing this build this morning, is to test things before we let it loose on you guys. Yeah, it wants a tiny bit off of it. Oops. It's a little difficult to get it to sit neatly as I'd like. So I pushed it out, look. You fool. Right, I'm just trying to position the window in the reveal so it sits back. Nicely. He's 0.1 of a millimetre or something off of each dimension, and then it will fit nicely. Okay, but it's in there. It's gone in. Okay. And I've scratched the paintwork a bit, but I'm not too worried about that because I want a weathered look anyway. So I shall tweak that before it gets released. Okay, so window's in. Now door, whether this will work, I don't know. Now Dylan put a real door handle on this. And whether I can get this to work with this wire that we've got, I don't know. If not, you could use fuse wire, but I'm hoping ours goes through, which it does. The idea being on this that you feed a bit of wire through two holes like that, and you give it a pull, and you have a kind of a traditional looking sort of door handle. That's the idea. You can obviously paint it black. It's a bit like stable door type, not stable doors. You know, there must be a name. They have them on farmhouses and stuff. The little clicky thing. Now what we need to do is put a bit of glue on the back of that and see if we can hold the wire in position.
Roger says morning. I hope all's well.
Good morning, Roger. Roger Munt.
Yep.
Right. How's Susie? I've spoken to you for a few days. How's she doing? I hope she's all right. I'll message you later. Don't need to say public on here. It's fine. I'll talk to you. Speak to you later. But I hope she's all right. I have no idea where that just went. It shot off across the room. And that one's there. Right. So that's that done. Door handle's done. I'm going to fit the door later. We're going to go back to assembling the main building now. So this is where we find out whether my modification works or not. Just about does. Okay, so front wall, going to glue that in. Then when the front wall's in, we can wrap the sides round. I've left the tabs on this piece unfolded, obviously, because I need to glue sidewall onto the building first. Like so.
David N. I don't know what to say, David N. or Dat.
All right.
The weathered roof tiles have a bit of texture. Once they're layered up, they look great. Very pleased with the results on my good shed. Have you tried weathered felt?
Weathered felt. No, we have got felt texture somewhere, which we could use on this. Actually, I've just used concrete on this one. In fact, you've just made me think. No, I've more work to do. I've got an idea for the felt. I have an idea. Leave it with me and let's see what I can do. It's another thing I've got to put on my list of jobs now, but I will see what I can come up with for that. You've given me an idea.
Robert Anthony Jones says, do you do the shed in a wood planking finish?
Yeah, Ian asked for that earlier. I will try and do a wood planked version. Yeah, obviously the walls are a bit thick for wood, so maybe it needs to be a separate kit. I don't know. Let me think about that. Obviously, from external viewing point of view, whatever it's called. What was the wood? Cladding. The thingy. Wasn't shiplap. There was another one, wasn't there? Another word that Ian used. I can't remember what it was. Anyway, no. Wooden cladding would look fine off from an outside point of view, but the thickness of the building would be a bit thick for wood finish. Anyway, there we go. I've folded the corners or the edges around now, so we've now got a nicely wrapped front of the building, which I think looks pretty smart. We're going to put the sides on now. What I will do is soft pencil to colour the edges in. So this is an 8B Faber-Castell pencil. No, I don't have shares in Faber-Castell or Yoo-Hoo or Deluxe. It's a pencil for £1, I think, from Hobbycraft. All I do is colour the edges in grey, and it just takes any white visible edges away, just enough.
John Slade's asked whether you can make windows like the one you've just glued in quantity to size he requires, please.
Yeah, really, yes. There just might be a little bit of a lead time, so if you can give us a bit of notice. Somebody messaged me on eBay the other day with a list of about 14 different window sizes for something similar. Yeah, I can do them. I just need to be given a little bit of time. If you want them next week, possibly not, but a few weeks' time, yes, it shouldn't be a problem. It's something we're working on, is speeding up things.
Rachel Harris has said we should start an internal poll on which kit, Dylan versus Justin's, sells best, and the one with the least has to buy the cakes at the end of the month. I like that idea.
Morning, Rachel. Yes, I've got the signs here, so which you've been waiting very patiently for. We'll do those in a minute, and they will be available today. I said yes, they'll be available yesterday, but I didn't get a chance to finish them off, and I have to write the instructions before I release it. Otherwise,
Sorry. Dylan's response to that is, I'll have to let Justin know that he likes a good lemon drizzle cake. That's very confident, Dylan.
Right, as you can see, working with wraps though. Look at that, a piece of cake. You haven't got to faff around, literally. Piece of lemon drizzle, this. Not simple. We've got a nice weathered finish, and that took seconds. None of this faffing about with acrylics and washes and bits of blooming polyfiller and stuff, trying to get mortar lines. It's just done, look. There, done. Grotty, miserable looking building. Okay, door going in now. Again, the door's a little tiny bit tight because it needs adjusting. So I might have to just try and shave off.
And Melvin Price has asked whether the KX071-OO is okay for a 1970 type depot shed. You don't know
what the heck is the TX176? It's the, I think it's the it's the stripy roller shutter doors, isn't it? Ian would be your man to ask on that one, because I honestly don't know. I think personally it's perhaps a little new. Ian, if you're watching, what do you think? Right, that fits perfectly now, so we'll glue that in. Yeah, Ian's the expert on that sort of stuff. I don't know. Otherwise, we do the plain roller shutter door, but I don't know. It probably is, actually. I'm sure Ian's watching. If not, Dylan, nudge Ian and get Ian to answer, because he'll know. Okay, doors in. It's looking quite good, look.
David Punch has asked when and where we will be in Scotland.
We will be at Model Rail Scotland at the Glasgow SEC, whatever it's called. Is it SEC, isn't it? I think it's Glasgow SEC. It's the last weekend of February. Exactly where in the building it will be, I don't know yet. But we are there at Model Rail Scotland. So if you Google Model Rail Scotland 2022, it comes up. It will tell you when it is, because I can't remember. Right, one of these is slightly bigger than the other, and one of them is the roof. The slightly bigger one is the roof. And that's that one. No, which is that. Okay, the roof piece now we're going to glue in the middle of there. So we're going for the concrete roof on this one. Like I say, you've got concrete or you've got corrugated iron on the textures. How are we doing for time? Can't tell.
10:40.
Not too bad. If I'd not cut bits up on this, we'd have been all right. So let's speed up a bit now. Okay, that's the roof piece on the back of the roof wrap. So we can set that to one side for a few seconds for glue to dry. Base, concrete base with some bits of weathering and stuff. What you've got to remember with the base is you've got to remember to put it on the correct way around. Clapboard. Tim's just written it down. Clapboard and felt roof. That was it, clapboard. Right. Okay. Roof. Sorry, I was concentrating then. Right, what we've done now is we've glued the roof wrap or the roof part onto the wrap, on the underside of the wrap. I'll label the parts as well in the kit so that it's easy to find them. I'm going to fold round and glue down all of the tabs to cover the roof. This is a nice quick bit of a quick process. I'm going to do the same with the base. Okay, now what we've got on the roof, we've got a piece here which just covers the underside of the roof, like so. So we'll just colour these edges. Just use the side of the pencil. With it being a really soft pencil, it doesn't damage the paper, but it leaves a nice grey edge to the cut edge of the paper.
Clive Ward says he uses a tough old toothbrush slightly damp on the roof tiles to scuff them up and cut odd corners off as if broken.
Yeah, right. That's a good idea. Right, I'm just making sure that you can't see any of these bits by colouring the underside edge just slightly.
Alan Robertson says door. I'm going to try and whiz through now because we've got quite a few.
All right, yeah.
Door and window openings would have had a timber frame for the wooden planks to be fixed to. Chaz Tallis says if one wants engraved sides instead of wraps, you could wrap the building with plastic card.
You could. Yep.
Clive Ward said he used the blast tape last night on the windows of the workshop to look like a building in the 1940s.
Oh, brilliant.
Rachel says thank you. She's looking forward to them. She has a wish list ready for when she can add the signs to it.
Yep. Be done. I'll get them out today. Busy afternoon, but I'll get them done. Okay, so that's the roof done, and we're just going to do the base really quickly, and we have a completed building. Then we can do Rachel's signs. I'll quickly test the hanging ones, and I know that I need to modify a couple of them because they're not quite right.
USN says who's going to be on the stand in Scotland?
It'll be me, Dylan. There'll be Saturday and possibly part of Sunday, I think, is Dean Park David Watson. And for the 3 days, we've also got Andy Hudson joining us from the Worley Club. Andy's the secretary of the Worley Model Railway Club. So Andy's joining us this year. That's it for the 3 days, I think. I think Dave's open Saturday and Sunday. He's not there Friday because Dave's a teacher, so he's teaching obviously on Friday. So he's not there Friday. But I think he's open Saturday and Sunday. Saturday definitely. Okie doke. Right, okay. So there we go. We have a simple base for the building to stand on, concrete base, and we have a nice concrete roof. I will just now put some glue along both sides there.
James Matthews asked whether you're going to put guttering on it.
Not putting guttering on this one at the moment. I've got some barge boards which I'll fit in a minute, and soffits, whatever, fascia boards and stuff which will fit in a second. Could put guttering on, but to be honest, and I've said this many times, the guttering that Alan Model U does is spot on. So rather than compete with Alan, you could enhance this quite easily with a set of his guttering. Right, let's glue that to the roof.
Melvin Price has said, do you do other doors for side doors of depots along with depot shed windows?
We need to do a set of doors, don't we? We do printed ones, but we don't do laser ones individually. Yeah, because the ones that are in the fire escapes in LX360, whatever it is, something like that, would work a treat for that, wouldn't they? Yeah, another job to do. I can hear Coach Tim while we're doing this going, hire that designer, you need to hire your designer. I know I do.
Ian says yes, the TX170 roller shutter doors. Is that right?
TX170, is TX170s like plain ones? Okay, so we've got...
No, so it's the
roof.
Or do you mean the TX176, Ian? Rather than 170?
Is there a TX170?
No.
All right. Okay, that's that. So we've got the roof on. So I'm just going to glue the fascia boards underneath there. So I'll run a bit of glue up underneath. I really like this little kit actually. It works very nicely. I can see these being used for all manner of things.
Model U, is it the Model U 3D.co.uk?
Yeah, it is, yeah. So Alan does some brilliant guttering and stuff. I think it's a bit fiddly. If Digger Evans is watching this, he's used quite a lot of it. I think it's a bit fiddly, but it's kind of worth the effort. But anything that's... Well, nothing worth doing is easy, is it? So, right, let's get that one up underneath there. Then we're nearly done.
Edward's asked what pencil you're using.
It's a Faber-Castell 8B pencil. It's just an artist pencil, standard black graphite pencil from Hobbycraft. About £1. So it's a Faber-Castell. There you go, Faber-Castell 8B. So just a simple. You can get one. You can probably even get one from the range. Say range, Hobbycraft. The Works probably do them. Whether they do them individually or whether you've got to buy a pack if you went to the Works, I don't know. You might have to buy a pack of 20 pencils, which would last you till about 2054 probably. Okay, here's the fascia board. I think we're done, apart from me fixing my cock-ups. We're done. We have a little shed. Look, I don't think that was too bad, does it?
Mm-hmm.
Really? And it's wrapped and doesn't need painting. Anyway, that's that one versus that one. So we go. We've got two sheds. There you go, side by side. It's like I say, horses for courses. Well, you prefer the brick engraved one, don't you? Now you want it. Anyway, I can't see them.
Huh?
I can't see with my glasses.
No, have a proper look.
So, but anyway, there you go. There's the two. So they'll be available this week. So that's KX71 and LX469. Right, really, really quickly. Try not to cut my fingers off while I do it. We want to cut out. Do an A-frame. Okay, now these can be painted if you want, or they can be left in natural laserboard finish. What you can also do is if you've got a little bit of gold paint, when you bend that, you get a little section at the top that looks like hinges. You want a tiny, tiny, tiny little strip of kind of brass coloured paint on the top there, just to represent the brass hinges on the top of the A-board. And that would set it off just perfect. Okay. Quickly borrow my knife, please, Tina. Right. We've got lots of signs on here. There's, what is it, 2, 4, 6, 8, 24. 24 signs that you can use on these that come in the pack. I've got one I did earlier. It's exactly the same as the previous one. So tiny, tiny, tiny drop of glue. Literally a really small drop of glue. And then all you want to do then is push the sign down into position inside the A-board. There we go. We have an A-board for beer. You can sit outside of a pub. That's that one. Then we've got these things called street swingers, which does sound really dodgy to me, but it is a thing. And when you see them, you'll know what they are. They go, oh yeah, seen them before. Turn the sheet over, it's easier to work from the back because you get more of a positive pop. There you go. When you remove the parts. Why? I've no idea. You just do. So 3 parts for a swinger. First bit, you glue the engraved part with the notches in on the top. Obviously you'll want to paint these when you assemble them. I'm not painting them at the moment. I might paint them later to take photographs. The bottom would normally be black. And then this part would normally be white or black. Check that fits all right, which it does. Tiny drop of glue in each side. This is where you need the fine tip applicator on your glue. Okay, I'm going to try and glue that in there with my shaky hands. There. Ah, it's come out. It stuck to the desk, that was a problem. Right, there we go. One little tiny street swinger. It's the signs that swing backwards and forwards in the wind. That's why it's called a street swinger. And then what we're going to do is we'll cut out a sign. What do we fancy? We've got pizzas, burgers, coffee, car wash, Black Friday sale, Valentine's Day sale, ice cream, sweet shop, cakes. What do we fancy?
Well, to be cakes, won't it?
Cakes. Do you want cake? Where's the cake? Which cake? Cakes. That one. Go with that one. So again, there's what, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. There's 40 signs, no, 20 pairs of signs to go on these. So you've got a good number to choose from. All nice and brightly coloured signs. Look quite smart, I think. Okay. Just want to take the very tiny white corners off the edges. If you painted your board white, then you won't notice that anyway.
Was there a coffee one, did you say?
There was a coffee one, yeah.
That says end of the world is nigh.
Oh, right. Oh, yeah. I suppose you could do all sorts of things like that, yeah. Yeah, there's coffee, there's car wash, big bacon burgers, there's pizzas, quite a few, 2 coffee ones, some sale ones. Right, tiny drop of glue again. Like I say, I'll paint some of these this afternoon when I do them. Make sure you get the cakes the right way up, because it looks stupid if it's upside down. Try not to wobble too much when I glue it on. And well, you can just, once you've assembled them, you just spray the whole thing black, or paint the whole thing black with a brush, and that'll do. Now those will look absolutely spot on outside one of our shops, or any shop really, on the station platform outside the refreshments section, refreshment shop. So there you go, that's the street swingers, that's part of the LX470 kit. Now one of these I've got, I know is going to drop to pieces. That's the oval shaped hanging sign, so I know that's going to drop to pieces, so I won't do that one. I need to modify that. Let's do one of these here. It's coffee time already. Right, and then this one again, these come with loads more signs. What we got? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 5, 6 is 30 different business signs. What have I got on here? Butcher's, cake shop, fried chicken, barbers. What's that one? That's a clockmaker. I haven't got one there for jewellers, have I? Trying to think of something that would fit with the shops I've got. Anyway, I'll show you.
Andy Hudson's asked if there's any news on the beach huts yet.
Beach huts?
Yeah.
No, not yet. There will be, but just not yet. Like I say, we've got to sort stuff out behind the scenes in terms of designing and all the rest of it. So that's a discussion for us all to have here. But we're on the case. A lot of work to do this year. Heck of a lot of work.
Morning, Tim from Blue Tree Models.
Oh, yeah, morning, Tim. You all right? Hope you're feeling all right?
Tom Lau has asked whether you could do the swinging one as roadwork ones.
Yeah, I don't know. I've seen roadwork signs swinging like that. I suppose they do exist. Okay, so these are really simple. A couple of seconds to do these. All I've done is cut out a barber's sign. I haven't got a barber's in front of me, but I'm going to just pretend in terms of shops. Okay, that goes on there. And in this set, there's 1, 2, 3, there's 6 different sign types. So one of them just needs a bit of a modification before I release it, because I'm just not happy with the way it's dropped to pieces. Now that there is pretty bang on as a hanging sign. So that's it. So what I will do is just to pretend, we can imagine the barbers are upstairs above the grocers, yeah? On here, I'll go out with it. Imagine the barbers is upstairs above the grocers.
Yeah.
So we're just going to put a little bit of thing on. Obviously you would paint them normally, and I'm only going to glue this on temporarily, and I'll take it off and put a painted one on shortly. So we're going to glue that onto the front of this shop, like so. Okay. Can you see that? Take my glasses off. Voila! A hanging sign for a barber shop. So not too bad. So on that one, you've got square signs, rectangular signs, round signs, and oval signs. A whole number of different things. You've got beauty, parlour, estate agents, can't see, estate agents, accountants, butchers, some random ones, food, ice cream, chicken, fried chicken, burgers, fishing shop, dentists, all that kind of stuff on there. So, most treat. Please them. Right, that's it then. So today we've done that there building, which will be available this week. That's KX71. Engraved version LX469 will be available again this week. We've done LX470, which gives you the street swingers and the A-boards, and we've got LX471, which is the hanging signs. And that's it. Now it's time to get some tea.
No, I need to run through some things.
All right, go on then. What have we got now then? Far away.
Tom says not the swing. He didn't mean the swinging board. He meant the A-frame one.
Oh right, yeah.
Could you have roadworks?
Oh, we got those anyway. LX74, LX74-OO on the website.
Sam Hill said, do the A-frames have a horizontal bar or chain between the legs?
They don't, but you could add one quite easily. I've not done one because you don't really need it to make it work. And I think that it'd be so small you'd hardly see it.
W47 says you could do it. Does it come in N board?
It's very true. I can go outside the model shop. Yes.
Melvin says station ticket boost for ticket inspector.
Yep. Good idea.
Edward says, will you be producing the weathering powder stand without the weathering powders?
Yeah, I'll get it added to the site. Yes, I will do. Just going to put that in front of the thing. This is Martina's finding more comments. This diorama is something that Paul, local chap down here, has built for us. Focusing on this month's theme, which is Lineside detailing. So he's got a number of things on here which could appear in any of your Lineside scenes, including the little hut that Dylan's designed. We've got I'll try and get it so you can see it without crushing everything else. Keep firing questions across as well.
Oh, right.
It's all right, yeah.
Andrew Finney says we've forgotten the knocking shop where you can buy door knockers.
That's very true.
Claire was on about knobs and knockers.
Knobs and knockers, yeah.
Shop.
Yeah, yeah, good idea. He's done a number of things on here. You've got a set of, these I really like, the palette of bricks, LX94, that's the bricks, isn't it?
194.
194, LX194, there you go, palette of bricks on so it's the LX194 sat on a palette, which is AX63. I think they look absolutely superb that he's done there. You've got a pile of scaffolding planks. These are all kind of things that you would see in Lineside scenes, just scattered along. What we kind of focus on this month is stuff you can see when you're riding along on a train, stuff you can see from the window of your coach or carriage. Roadworks things, there's some of the roadworks signs. Look, the chap that just asked a few minutes ago, I can zoom on them. I've got some of the roadworks signs there. Roadworks barriers, another stack of pallets, completely randomly stacked. Some cable drums there. A tree, which obviously is a Lineside feature, but a tree made using our sea foam, which is now sold out, unfortunately, and some twisted wire, but other sea foams are available. You've got some of Tim's still watching. You've got some of Tim's barrels that Tim makes for us, just in there. Rusty indented barrels, more pallets, LX431 lines. Come here. This is really hard doing this and trying to zoom as well. LX431 Lineside hut, the bigger Lineside hut, that's actually based on the bottom of a signal box, apparently. We've got trunking, some signs, other bits and bobs. So there's lots of stuff on this diorama. Really pleased with this. Lots of bits on there. Fencing, container, and a lovely bit of hard standing. Anyway, that's it. That's it today. Any more questions?
That says lots of discussions in the club about concrete floors. How was that diorama done?
That's a good question. Paul has a number of ways. He did it on a bit of MDF. He's got some scoring tools that he uses to mark out the expansion gaps on the concrete. And I've asked him for a write-up, which I think is on my desk because he posted it to me the other day. He's actually done it in traditional form. He's written it up by hand. So he's written some notes on that, but it's been sprayed a concrete colour and then weathered. But what I'd like to do, if I can at some point, is get Paul in here one day to do a live thingy of that, so you can watch him do it here in front of the camera, which would be really good. You could just use TX134 for that, for the hard standing. Yeah. TX134 would do the job if you like working with textures. If you don't, then it's a painting job. So I think that's about it for this morning. Time to get a cup of coffee and get this kit finished and fix my mistakes. It's this. So thank you everybody for watching. Don't forget, next Thursday, live in the first class area of the Railway Modelers Club at 7 p.m. No, 7:30. Back on there. 7 p.m. 7:30. God almighty, man. 7:30 till 9. There'll be adverts up about it in a bit anyway, because Dylan's working on some stuff. Phil Parker talking about why we should build micro layouts. The pros and cons. They're not ideal for everybody, but there's some good reasons as to why you should build a micro layout over building a huge layout. And he's going to be discussing all those kind of things and various other bits, no doubt. We'll probably put it open to questions before we do the actual live show with him. So we'll make an email address or something where you can send questions in for Phil if you want to ask him any questions about anything. And then at the end there'll be a Q&A thing which will run through those kind of things. So anyway, thanks for watching. Hopefully Dylan will do next Wednesday when I've worked out what he's going to build. And then I'll see you next Thursday evening at 7:30. Right, have a good one. Thanks for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week.
Bye.
See you later.